My name is Ed Austin. I guess you'd have to blame me for the caboose being here. Initially, I heard through a friend of mine's wife that this caboose existed on some private property south of Eugene. No one in the community knew it was there. No one believed an old wood caboose would have lasted this long. Based on that preliminary thing, we went down to look at it, and my heavens, it's completely intact inside. It's in excellent shape. But I went home and did some research on it and found out, good grief, this caboose was actually built for the Oregon and California Railroad. Very historic. Wow, this is an amazing find. And I just mentioned it in passing to Kylie here one day that, oh, we found this old caboose. That led then to the process of, telling the owner, we would be glad to take it.
My name's Sean O'Hara. I was the operations director here at the museum. Was part of the crew in 2015 when Kaylee and Dave approached us from Eugene and asked us if we were interested in this caboose that we're standing in.
My name is Alan Van Winkle, and I heard about this caboose through a friend. I tried to volunteer helping him restore a locomotive, but he chose to do it himself and sent me over here.
I am Meredith Cool, and I found out about the caboose from Ed Austin. I knew him from the Humane Society, and he said he was redoing a caboose. I said, yes, please.
I'm David Craig. It was the Christmas time, and they had the lights all here, and so we brought the grandkids over. They were handing out flyers looking for volunteers and looking for a new project, and this looked like a good one, so I showed up.
My name is Matthew Mabey. My wife Kaylin works at the Heritage Center, and she was discussing over dinner how they were to the stage of putting the decking down around the train or the caboose, and I said maybe I could help with that.
My name is Michael, and I started working on the caboose about 8 years ago. Christopher, our leader, asked me to help out with the caboose initially.
My name is Christopher Hackett. Started working at Willamette Heritage Center about 15 years ago. It's been a good experience with the caboose crew. The caboose crew is mainly responsible for everything here. I haven't done really that much. I would get out of line occasionally and they'd put me back on track, no pun intended.
I've always wanted to live in a caboose. 25, 30 years ago, I almost had the opportunity and it didn't work out, so it was still in the back of my head. So when Ed mentioned come and work on a caboose, I was like, yeah, and then I'll either really want one or never want to see one again. I now have one, so that answers that question.
My experience with the railroad is as a kid just watching the old steam engines going by on the highways and whatnot. So it was fun to get into one of these cabooses because we used to wave to a lot of people in these cars and the engineers, of course.
I was actually here when they brought it in and hoisted it in, so I got to see the very start of it, but I was just purely as a spectator since my wife works here, and then my son was also here with us, and so we got to watch it all together. And so, but it was really kind of the communal experience was the most memorable part.
It wouldn't have happened without those volunteers. Just working with them and seeing them do their thing. It's very impressive. All the siding was really bad shape. It was all rotten and...
It was horrible condition.
I didn't know that such rotten wood could be restored, but it's mostly original.
And the more you worked on it, the more you realized how nice it would be once it's finished.
So it's been nice to see it be freshed up and spruced up and kind of restored.
I'm really proud of how it looks right now. I know how much effort went into it, how many people really loved it and spent their time redoing it. I think Kylie did an excellent job doing the more museum-y historic parts.
Everything is as historically accurate as possible, down to the paint colors.
I mean, anybody that sees it now is going to be stepping back in time. It's got the original coal stove. There's still coal in the coal bunker. There was still paperwork in the conductor's desk.
I enjoy history. It's nice to see antiques preserved. Sometimes it's tragic in business, the way the railroads just scrapped out so many steam locomotives. So I take a lot of pride in helping save one piece of equipment. There aren't too many of these wooden cabooses left.
I think it's just great that they did so much with volunteer labor and then the donations and so forth. And preserving history is important to me.
That's what this was all about, is just working it out and trying to make it right. That was just the fun of it all. And plus a great work crew. We all worked well together, which was really nice.
The caboose crew, it was so fun to work with the guys. I mean, everybody showed up and was kind, and we were funny, and we laughed and got things done. So we've lost a couple along the way, but definitely in our memories, and think of them just about every time I think of the Caboose.
There's 3 of us on the Caboose crew that have passed on to the steam locomotive in the sky. Tom Dill, Courtney Gatlin, and Beth Robin.
It was just nice working with the guys, and sad to miss some of the history people who really knew railroading, because they would have some real stories to tell.
Caboose in and of itself doesn't mean that much to me, but it's the people that I met around here. It was probably the most valuable experience to see different people from different walks of life who are somewhat elderly and retired. It was like a big family.
It's been enjoyable working with a team, a lot of knowledgeable, skilled guys and ladies. That was probably the most memorable part.
For 12th Street, this is eye candy for the museum. This is a whole new attraction, and I think hopefully it'll bring a renewed interest to the Willamette Heritage Center and what this crew does here for preservation.
I'm just really glad to see it here to me personally, it's a great memory of when I was growing up. And it adds a new dimension to the story here. I mean, to have a caboose that was over 100 years old when we got it, still aging, but it's aging well.
I think it's just a great piece of history, and being personally involved with it, it's just fun to see it when you drive by on 12th. It's just one of those things that kind of bit you in the heart there. When it stands alone, it's just pretty spectacular, something to look at, you know, and to actually be a part of.
I just encourage people to come and see the caboose at some point when they take a tour.
It was a great and fun experience.
It was fun.
It was kind of fun to do, I guess.
Yeah, we had a lot of fun actually.
Fun and games all the way.
That's about all there is to it. I'm happy that we're finally finished, and I should say I'm proud of what we've done. Thank you for everybody that donated their time and money. I appreciate that very much.
I hope you enjoy the caboose as much as I have.